Hey, what's up guys? We are back, and first and foremost, I'd like to say that you guys are crushing it on subs, okay? I said I wanted to get to 1,000 by my birthday, which is June 20th. As of recording this video and editing, it's June 13th, and we are at 981. So we're 19 away. I think we're gonna get there by my birthday, so thank you guys, I really do appreciate it. Other than that, I've been going to Doghouse is a new place I've been going to. I've been doing really well there. I have 2 wins in the books, and then we have this session. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy one. I get in for 900, and you have to stick around to the end to see if I get out of the trap or not, but it's definitely a crazy session where it feels like kind of nothing is going my way. But anyways, let's get in the poker hands. I'll let you guys see what's happening. Oh, also, if you wanted to know, I said it was super hot in Texas in the previous video. My AC was out. Okay, so my AC wasn't working. It was like 100+ degrees in Texas. It was like 85+ in my house. It was ridiculous. I got that fixed, but I need to get a new AC. So it's like a temporary band-aid fix. Anyways, I'm sure you guys don't care about any of this, but I'm just kind of telling you what's going on in my life. That's what I'm dealing with. So all the money I win in poker goes straight to getting my AC fixed. Yay! Living expenses. Cool. And then there's groceries, which are, you know, just gonna bankrupt me. But anyways, let's go in the poker hands. All right, guys, we are on the button. This is the first poker hand to try to afford groceries and the AC. We look down and see 9-10 offsuit. I call. We're going 7 ways to this flop. Hopefully we hit pretty well. And when the flop comes out, 10-6-10 with 2 spades, I'd say that's a pretty good hit. With 7 players, someone always could have a 10, but there's a lot of flush draws and things like that in there as well. Middle position player bets $10, and at this point, I'm on the button. I decide just to call for a couple reasons. Number one, this player does not look like a bluffing player. He looks like a very straightforward player, so I want to keep the pot size small. Keeping his, you know, I'm not bluffs because I think he just has value here all the time. And my 10's not the best 10 in the world. So I want to keep it small, okay? I'm scared. I'm scared. I told you I have bills. Get off of me. Get off my back. 5 of clubs comes on the turn. He bets $35, even though I am a little bit concerned that he is continuing to bet at this pot. I am never folding 10-9 in this position either. So I make the call. Pot is up to $125. I really just want to see a 9 on the river, but unfortunately I see the 7 of spades. So if he was, you know, semi-bluffing with a flush draw or anything like that, he did get there. And yeah. At this point, I'm pretty much just kind of done with the hand. I just want to move on to the next one. It's $125. Goes check, check. Like I said, I wanted to keep this one small. He flips over Queen 10. So that's going to win against my 9-10. And that's how we start the night. On to the next hand. All right, is what it is. You can't start hot every time. And I know some of you are like, well, you lost the minimum. Oh, yeah, what are you complaining about? You should have lost more. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. I do feel like I played it to lose the minimum, but I know some of you before he showed Queen 10 were like, what are you doing? You got to go for value. You got to raise there. You got, you know, everyone has their different opinions. I feel like I played it fine. Anyways, this is a PLO double board bomb pot that happen every dealer change, which is every 30 minutes. There's also a reverse button for PLO, 1 hand per rotation. That being said, I have ace 10, 5, 5. Top board comes 10, deuce, jack with 2 diamonds. Bottom is 5, 7, ace, rainbow. So I have a set of 5s on bottom and I have a pair of 10s on top. With my set, I decide to bet $40 and we get a few callers here, which is a little bit scary. I mean, I do have an ace on the bottom to block a set of aces, but in PLO, when you're playing full ring, you never know. You never know. Cutoff does end up making the call. Button makes the call as well. Action finally gets around to that small blind player. And actually right here, the cutoff player thought he was betting 20. He didn't realize I had already bet. So the dealer was letting him know, hey, if you want to call, it's $20 more. You're only halfway there. Finally, he got caught up and he decided to make the call. Small blind makes the call and big blind is tagging along with us as well. So 5 ways to the turns, $255 in the pot already, and man oh man, would it be nice to win a big one right here. I don't want to see any diamonds up top, and down below I don't really know what I want. Another 5 would be amazing, I guess. I just don't want to see any connected straight cards. Up top comes the King of Hearts, down below comes the Queen of Hearts, which At first glance, doesn't look that good. I go all in for 165, but it's actually not that bad. Up top, I have a gut shot straight to a queen. Queen of hearts is already down below, so I don't want the queen of diamonds. Really, 2 queens give me the straight up top, which is what I feel like I need. I'm really concentrating on the bottom board, though. That's where I have a set of 5s, and I have the second nut draw because the ace, king, and queen of hearts are already out there. So the only thing that beats me is the jack high flush. Button ends up making the call, and then action is getting back around to that big blind player. So right here, I'm willing to gamble. Could I be up against a set of aces, a set of 7s, a set of queens? Yes, possibly, but once again, I do have that backdoor flush draw, and I do have a case 5 I could hit on bottom, and I have a couple queens I could hit up top. So it is what it is. I have 165 in my stack. I feel like this is a decent spot to get it in and see what happens. If I had more money, maybe I play it differently, but this is where I am at. Eventually, the big blind does decide he is going to make the call, and I'll just let you guys go to the table audio. It's kind of crazy. A guy not even in the hand tips the dealer, you'll see in just a second, and asks for dirty rivers.
All right, I gotta play it all in. We have action on the side, okay?
Make it dirty. Make it dirty.
That's 1. 2. There you go. 2 dirty ones. Check. Showdown.
Unfortunate for me.
Kings and kings. 7, 7, 9, 8. 7 on bottom, 9, 8, 9. Yep.
And you had a little nutter draw too.
Yeah.
Hey, how many hearts out there? Can you find that somewhere? Perfect. Perfect.
Wait, we could do this. No, I don't like it.
Hey, no, we'll find a way. We'll find a way.
All right, guys. Well, never in my life have I seen someone do something as crazy as that. Tip the dealer $1 for a hand they're not even in to see 2 dirty rivers. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Does that happen to you? Because that was wild to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, these guys are cool guys. We're having fun. It is what it is. But, like, come on, man. Don't tip for dirty rivers. Anyways, to this hand, it is a PLO hand. Look down and see ace, king, queen, 10. King, queen being of the heart variety. There's a $10 button straddle. Action gets to me, and I raise it up to 80. Yep, I did that. I'm like, let's play a big one, boys. Anyways, while we were waiting for people to act, I'll tell you this much. I mentioned it before. You guys are crushing on subs, but believe it or not, only 26% of you are actually subscribed to a channel that are watching the content, and 74% are not. So if you're not subbed already, come on, do your boy a favor, drop that sub. Doesn't cost you anything, helps out the channel, helps me out. You already know I got groceries, they're expensive. It's hard out there. It's hard out there nowadays. Plus, I'm getting crushed on the poker table. You know, what do you want me to do? I can only do so much. But I appreciate it. Back to this poker hand. We are still waiting for this big blind player to act. And he is he's taking his sweet time. I'll tell you that much. He is contemplating and seeing what he wants to do because he is not going to make a mistake. To go back to it, this big blind, the person in the big blind right now, he is the same player who had the queen 10 versus our 9-10 in the beginning of this vlog. So definitely not a loose player, all right? He eventually makes a call. Not very good. Doesn't feel great. Gotta be honest with you guys. Low jack player announces that he's getting pot odds, so he has to call as well. I'm like, yeah, I get it. No big deal. This is a hand where if I hit, I hit. I don't care how many people call. It's not a really, I pretty much know where I'm at throughout this hand. I'm either going to hit the flop or I'm not. That simple. So I don't care if 100 people call at this point. I just want to see what the flop is. And luckily, now that all the action's done, that's what the dealer does. Flop comes out in his 5 jack king rainbow. $280 in the pot. That means I flop top pair, top kicker, and I also have a wrap with backdoor flush. I'm going all in for 195. Anything from a 9 to an ace gives us the nut straight. This is an extremely strong hand in PLO. Also, any card from a 9 to an ace except for the 9. Gives us 2 pair. We can boat up. We can do other things. I'm just telling you guys, this is a good hand. So I have no problem shipping my $195 in there. The big blind player snap called, not a good sign. Low jack player folded. Run out is going to be 4 diamonds, 8 of diamonds. Runner diamonds gives our opponent the nut diamond flush. He did flop 2 pair though. However, he had a king jack, very similar hand to ours. Just unfortunately, we missed our wrap. He did not have the 10, so he didn't have the wrap, but he did flop top 2 pair. So GG to him. Time to reload another 300. And yeah, on to the next hand. Feels good. All right, guys, I reload for another 300. This is my final bullet. When I'm at a game, I normally do a max of 3 bullets, sometimes 4, but normally the max is 3. And that is what I am in for on this bullet. My third and final bullet. Look down in the cutoff, see pocket jacks, raise it up to 15. Big blind, low jack, and the hijack player make the call. That means we are going 4 ways to this flop, which comes out king high. King 10 9 is the flop. It's a rainbow. So flop a gut shot, only 1 card over our pair. So big blind bets 25. Low jack player decides he's going to make the call. Hijack player decides 25 and enough to push him off this hand. He makes a call and I call as well. 160 in the pot. And for 25, I think it's a fine call. I think if he bets more, I can fold when 2 other people call, but it is what it is. Turn is the ace of clubs, bringing in another overcard to our pair. Doesn't feel the best, but doesn't change the fact that a queen still gives us a straight. Big blind player bets 25. Low jack player calls. And once again, for $25, I just don't think I can fold. It is what it is. Feel like I'm getting milked, but hey, that's poker. 235 in the pot when the bank miraculous queen of spades, the perfect card to get us paid, comes in. This time, big blind player checks. Low jack bets 35, and I do not think I have any other move other than to decide to go all in. I have $200, and I ship it all into the middle, hoping for a call and hoping that if I get called that I am good. One time, dealer. One freaking time. Big blind player goes into the tank and thinks about it for a long time. I'm just praying he makes the call. I'm honestly just, please help me get out of this trap. He folds. Low jack player makes the call. And of course, he does have a jack as well. Even though we have 2 of them, we end up chopping this $635 pot. Either way, it's a step in the right direction. I'll take a chop over an L. On to the next hand. All right, guys, I got a little lucky on that one. Got bailed out. I am not, too grown of a man to admit it. It is what it is. On to this next hand. Look down and see pocket 3s. There are some limpy loos here. Middle position, I make the call. Another person that called gets around to the small blind player. He calls as well. And we are going 4 ways to this flop. Flop's not too bad. Comes out 3-4-3. We flop quads. What? Are you kidding me? Of course I check it. I'm not hoping someone has pocket 4s. There's not a very high likelihood of that. So gets checked through. Turns the 5 of spades. Small blind bets $10. Under the gun makes a call. And I call as well. Wanting them to put more money into this pot. Because, man, we're in for 900. And I need to get it back. River comes out and it's the ace of hearts, which is good and bad. It may scare a pair of 5s away, but it also brings in a 4-liner to a straight. So if someone has a straight, I could very well get paid. Small blind bets $25. Other person folds. It gets around to me. I ask for how much it is. Do a little Hollywooding for a second. Oh, it's 25. Okay, well, maybe I just put in a little raise with my quads. I guess if I have to. So I put a raise to $80. He snap calls. He had the straight. I let him know I have quads. And we take down this $210 pot. Also, at this place, they had a bonus for this weekend for quads. So I got an extra $100 on top of this. So it's really a $310 hand. Not too bad of a win. On to the next one. All right, guys, so, on a little bit of a heater here. Most hands I've won all night, it feels like. Look down and see king, queen offsuit. When action gets to me, this is a good enough hand to raise, so that's what I do. I make it $15. Some people fold out of position, no big deal. Hijack ends up making the call, though. And, yeah, something about this hijack player is he is notably the best player on the table. Small blind player makes a call, gets back around that middle position player who had limped for $5. He puts in $10 more and makes the call as well. Flop comes out, and it's not the best flop. It's deuce 3 6 with 2 diamonds. When action checks to me, I figure I can rep the overpair because I've been playing kind of snug tonight. I haven't really shown any bluffs. I figure now's a good time as any. So I bet $45, about 2/3 pot, and the hijack player looks pretty weak. I don't know, he was doing something where I picked up a live tell. I was like, oh, he doesn't seem too strong. So he does make the call for 45, and the other 2 players fold. Pot's 150, and I figure with a clean turn, I can probably bet and take this down. 7 of hearts seems clean enough to me, does bring in a secondary backdoor flush, so now diamonds and heart flushes are out there. But I don't think he's too strong. I think he may have 1 pair, and I think if applied enough pressure, I can push him off of it. So I bet $75. He may also have the nut flush draw. He ends up making the call, this time much faster than before. I don't know if that's a sign of weakness or a draw or whatever. But after he makes the call and the ace of clubs comes on the river, I am done with his hand. Too many of his draws have an ace. There's too many hands he have that beats me, and I am in the game for 900, bluffing off more than I should, I feel like, especially against a strong player like this. So I check, hoping he will check back. Of course, he's not going to check back. He's a good player. He ends up betting around 150 bucks, something like that, with a couple reds, 160. I just instantly muck and move on to the next hand. Never know what he has, but yep, on to the next one. Yeah, don't really like how I played the last hand. Could have saved some money, but it is what it is. On to this hand, look down and see Queen Jack of clubs. That's a good hand, so I raise it up to $15. That is what you do with good hands. You raise and build a pot and hope to win. Button ends up making the call, gets around to the under the gun player. They make the call as well, so we are going 3 ways to this flop, which is King Jack 9 with 2 spades. So flop mill pair with a gut shot to a straight. Not a bad hand. $45 in the mill, so when under the gun bets 15, I think this is a standard continuation right here. I make the call, and the button player makes the call as well. Didn't really want to see him calling, but it is what it is. Let's go to a turn and see what unfolds. Turn is a 5 of diamonds, and the under the gun player getting called in 2 spots decides to slow it down here. I check as well, and so does a button player. We get a free river, which is the 10 of spades, giving us the straight, but it does bring in that flush draw. Under the gun player bets checks to me, and I feel I have to bet here. So I bet $35, very small comparative to the pot. Button player goes all in, and I snap fold. This player's been playing tight, and that's an extra like $200. There's only like 120 after my bet in the flop. So snap fold, easy decision for me, even though I have a straight. It's not worth all of my chips to chop, and if you push me off a chop, good for him, but I'm pretty sure he had the flush. So lose this one with a straight. On to the next hand. Let me know in the comments, do you guys think that's a good fold or a bad fold? Anyways, on to the next hand. I have pocket aces from the big blind. The middle position player had just lost some hands. He was feeling like he's a little bit on tilt, and he goes all in for $215. Now, to put a little backstory into play here, I have seen this guy go twice throughout the night. Okay, so I've seen him go twice with other people, and you guys know me. I leave it up to the opponent on what they want to do. Very rarely do I decide what we do, because if I'm going to decide, I'm cool with ripping, but I try and leave it up to the other person out of courtesy. Anyways, I make the call, and I'll let you guys go to the audio for now, and then we'll come back.
Wherever you want to.
Right.
Huh?
On next week.
Okay.
Are you ahead?
Yeah, you're behind.
Huh?
You're behind.
I'm behind.
Yes.
Okay, so basically I wanted you guys to hear this because he has queens, and I think he decided to rip because he had queens and he thought he was ahead. Maybe it's because he's been losing and he's like, hey, I've got a good hand, I just want to double up. I do understand, but this is why I don't tell people my hand before they decide what they want to do. Because if you're going to change what you do based off the strength of your hand, then we can just rip it every time, and I'm completely cool with that. The thing I'm not okay with is me revealing my hand and you seeing you're behind and changing what you want to do based off that information. I don't like that. I don't mess around with that. That way, it doesn't seem fair to me. It seems like you're trying to get an edge over me, and I just don't appreciate that. So I'm not saying that's what this guy did. I do think he was shocked when he was behind, but he had pocket queens, so it's understandable. Basically, all I'm saying is if I'm all in against you in a hand and I ask you what you want to do, never ask me what I have, because I'm never going to tell you. Not until we decide what we're doing. So, and I don't decide, so you can show me your cards all you want, because I'm going to say it's up to you. What do you want to do? So that's my little rant on that. And once again, this guy was a good guy. He was a fun guy to play with. I'm not knocking on him at all. It just kind of brought this up, which is something I've run into and something I just, this is the way I feel about it. So if you want to go different times based off your hand, I'm going to rip it with you 100% of the time. That just is what it is. And I wish you the best. We're all good. We're all friends. I'm not mad at you. I'm just not going to give you the chance to go multiple times based off the strength of your hand in my hand. Anyways, rant over. Let's move on to the next hand. All right, guys, for next hand, I am under the gun, look down and see a Queen Jack offsuit. I decide to raise it up to $15. Action does fold around to the cutoff. He makes the call, and he is the only one. So we're going to be going heads up to this flop. By the way, let me know on the other hand, the previous hand, what do you guys think? Do you think it's fine to decide how many times you want to go based off the player's cards, or do you not like it? I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way, so let me know what you think. Flop comes out Jack 4-10 with 2 spades, flop top pair with a queen kicker, not too bad, so I c-bet for $15. He makes the call, and we are still heads up going to the turn. Turns the 5 of clubs, doesn't change much, $60 in the pot. I decide to size up to 3/4 pot and bet $45, charge all of his draws and see what happens. So I bet 45, he pretty much snap calls, and we are going to the river, hoping for a clean one. Please, one-time dealer. Boom. 3 of spades. I check, and he immediately bets $100. I end up folding. I actually think this is a bad fold. I was losing, and I was on the ropes, so I think I folded based off of that. But looking back on this, I think this is a call. If he has a flush, he has a flush, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. On to the next hand. There's a $10 straddle. I look down and see pocket 10s. I limp in for $10, fully wanting someone to raise so I can go all in over the top of them. That is my plan at this point in the hand. Action folds around to the hijack player. He makes the call, and it gets back to the button player, and I am just praying he raises at this point, because I want to ship it all in, and I want to double up, and I want to make something happen, because I haven't made anything happen all night. But then the button raises to $70, and that's a lot of money. I was not expecting him to do that big of a raise. It seems like a lot, and that has definitely changed my plans. It's not feeling too good. Not feeling too good. With that being said, I don't think I can fold just yet, so I end up throwing in the chips, making the call. The other player folds, and we're going heads up to the flop. I don't want to see an ace or king. That's all I know as of right now. Flop comes out, and it is king 3-5. Yep, there's a king there. I check it. He ends up betting $75. You can fold or call here. I think either one's fine. I decide to peel one, see what he does after I call him. Turn comes to 7 of spades. Action's on him. He puts me all in for my remaining $215. At this point, I'm in the tank. Am I in the tank because this is a hard decision? No, I think it's a fold. It's a fold. But I've been getting beat up all night. I'm at the point of the night where I don't know if you guys have ever been there. I don't know if I'm just making bad decisions by folding all these hands, or if I'm just running into it every time. I folded to 2 rivered potential flushes. The previous hand, I think I shouldn't have folded, but I don't know. I don't know because I haven't seen their cards. So I'm super tilted. I do end up making the fold, and he was kind enough to show me the king. So thank you so much for not putting me on Uber tilt. But unfortunately, that is the last hand of this table. Yep, the game breaks. I have $215. I'm in for $900. A round of each table starts up, and some of the guys ask me if I want to go play. I'm very reluctant because I feel like I've been playing bad and I've been running bad, and I just kind of want to go home, cuddle up to my woman, and just call it a night, lick my wounds, and come back another day. But they're very convincing. So I say, YOLO, no big deal. Let me take my $215 whole dollars over to y'all's table and see what I can do. So boys, Let's see what we can do. All right, boys. I've started a little comeback. I've run it up some. I've got an extra 100 and something in my pocket on my chip stack. Decide to straddle for $10. Small blind, big blind call. Under the gun raises up to 50. No big deal. This game's playing a little deeper than the other game I was playing, and that's fine with me. Middle position player ends up making the call. Gets around to that cutoff player. He makes the call as well. So when it gets to me, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to make this call. This is our chance to get out of the trap. This is our chance to run it up. This is a big pot, and this is what we want. This is what we need. Big blind, small blind, both make the call. Pre-flop, 300 in the middle. We have a horrible hand, but it could hit. This is not a good Omaha hand, but when the flop comes out, 3-8 jack with one club, bottom two pairs not looking too bad. Basically, all we have to do is fade a set of jacks or jack 8, jack 3. Big blind, pots it, $300. Slowly but surely, everyone else is folding. He actually has 305. He wanted to go all in. They wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him do a $5 overhang. But that's fine. That's fine, because we have exactly 305 in our stack as well. And even though this poor man wanted to go all in and they wouldn't let him, I'm going to give him that chance. Because when action folds to me, I go all in for 305. That's right. We're putting it all on the line. We're going with bottom two in Omaha. We're making a stand. 305 all in. Action's back to the big blind player. He can fold or he can call for the additional 5. If you're in his spot, what do? Yeah. No, he ends up making the call. Yep. he calls the extra $5. Shocker, I know. So we discussed how many times we want to go. We decided to go twice. He does have a jack 8. First board run out is club, so I have king high flush. Second board is king 6, so now I have king 8 with 2 pair. He had jack 8. He did not improve. We end up scooping $610 coming our way. Let's go, boys! Let's go! What do you mean? Don't say we're not on a comeback. Don't you tell me we can't get it all back. 610. We're only down $290. Let's go. Don't you call it a comeback, baby. We've been here the whole time. On to the next hand. All right, guys, this is the next hand. We look down and see ace, jack, queen 10 with the ace, jack being suited. There's a $10 button straddle. Small blind makes the call. Big blind makes the call as well. Under the gun player is going to be in there also. These pots in ROE tend to get a little bit larger. And once again, I'm all about it because we're still not out of the trap. I raise it up to $60 because I have an insanely good Omaha starting hand. Cutoff player, which is a player we just ended up stacking. He reloaded for 500. He makes the call. Button makes the call. Small blind and the big blind players make the call. Under the gun gets out of the way, and we're heading to a flop. Flop comes out, and it's not too bad. It's a pretty decent flop of queen 9 with 2 hearts. We flop trip queens with ace, jack, and 10, all overs to the 9. Also flop an open ender. So yeah, this is a pretty good hand. I bet $250, and then the cutoff goes all in for $425. Action folds back around to me, asks for a count. Dealer evidently does not know how to count because the original count he told me is $325. But as we can all see, that is definitely more than $325. So finally get the final count. It is $425. I have too strong of a hand. I can't go anywhere. If he already has the boat, I have outs. And if he doesn't, then I am ahead, or we are chopping at the very least. Eventually, I do say, hey, you know what? I can't fold. I'm going to make the call. Best of luck to you. We talk about how many times we'd like to go. He says twice is fine. This pot is $1,160. 6 of hearts, then 4 of diamonds. 6 is diamonds, then 3 of hearts. I do not have a flush. Oh, flush came in on both boards, but luckily he flips over king queen. He did not boat up. He just had king queen jack 10. He had a beautiful hand, very similar to mine, but luckily for us, I have the ace kicker. I would like to say real quick, all jokes aside, this guy is a super nice guy. He said if I had the flush, I was good. I wasn't thinking properly in the moment. So I said, no, you're good. You know, I thought he had the boat because he went all in. So I thought he had flopped the boat. A boat beats a flush. If he told me I had the flush, I'm good. Obviously, he doesn't have a boat. That was me being an idiot, not trying to slow roll you or anything. You're a good guy. I enjoy playing with you. I just got insanely lucky against you on these past 2 hands. So I want to say that he's probably not going to watch a vlog. But if you do, I just want to say that happened. I was reviewing the audio and I heard that. So anyways, had to get that off my chest. I apologize. Wasn't meant to be a slow roll. GG's. I'm sorry, my man. You'll get it back from me one day because I'm a horrible player. On to the next hand. All right, guys, this is the final hand of the night. Look down and see ace 8-9 king with the ace being suited. I put in the call, and basically several other people around the table put in the call. It's a total of 5 extra players that call. So we're going to be going 6 ways to flop on this one. By the way, right now we are in the cheese. First time all night. So this last hand is going to dictate if we get stuck or if we end up positive. Let's see the flop dealer hit me one time. Boom! Flop king 8-10 all hearts. We flop the nut flush. Only $30 in the pot. Sometimes on these hands, you got to get a little bit tricky. I check middle position player. He bets $10. The button calls. I just smooth call. I want to see a clean turn, and then I want to spring a trap. So I need no board pair on the turn dealer. Please, one time, give me a clean turn. Boom! 4 of hearts. I couldn't have asked for anything better. You are the man. I check it one more time. Middle position player takes the bait. Bets $55. Button player makes the call. Actions back to me. I have a bet and a call. Now's the time to spring the trap. I raise it up to $200. Catches everyone off guard. The room goes silent. Not really. People are still talking. No one really cares about this pot. It's not a huge pot, but it's a big pot for us, and it's deciding whether or not we end up with cheese. Middle position player, who's the player I've been beating up on this table all night. I feel bad for him, but I'm not sorry because that's poker and that's how poker goes. You'll get your turn next time. He makes the call. Button player folds. River. 4 of clubs. Pairing the board. Fuck! I check it. He's got about 350 behind. Luckily, he checks back. I flip over my cards. Ace high flush. He says we're good. We take it down, boys. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go to the outro to see how we did. All right, guys. I told you it's a roller coaster of a session, okay? We're losing. Didn't feel like I didn't have anything go my way. I hit quads, got a bonus. That was basically it. Then bluffed into the best player on the table. Ended up losing that. Game broke that I was on. Was down to like 215. Went to the ROE table and went into God mode. Crushed one guy for like every hand. Sucks for him. I'm sure we'll see each other again. You'll crush me on other days. That's the way poker is. I don't like to say sorry in poker because I'm not sorry. That's the way poker is. It just sucks because I've been on that side before. We all have. So I feel for you. I empathize for you, but I'm not sorry because I'm not going to give them money back. Anyone who says they're sorry in poker is not sorry. That's just the way it is. If they're sorry, they'll give you the money back, and no one's giving money back in poker. So I empathize with you. I feel your pain, but I'm not sorry. I'm happy that I won. What you guys want to know? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. In for 900, and we cash out with cheese. Out for 1,600. 700 cheese by the end of the day. Went into that table with only $200 and change, and ran it up to 1,600. Not a bad day for your boy. I had to do quick math. Anyways, I appreciate the love and support, guys. Ended up 700 on this session. We have played 3 sessions at the Doghouse, and we're up 2,300. I actually played the other day and I didn't record, so I'll tell you guys that too. I ended up winning 700 there, so we're up 3K within a week of playing at Doghouse. That's insane. I definitely think I found my new spot. Don't get me wrong, I've ran good. My play wasn't the best tonight. I think I just ran good at the end of the night, and kind of is what it is. And in poker, I'd rather be lucky than good. I'd rather be the luckiest player than the best player any day of the week. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you on the next one, and until then, you guys have a good one.